Okay, what's going on, Grand Rising? Today is Friday, February the 14th, 2025. And what we're going to be looking at today is going to be the dollar index, the futures market, and the indices. So, futures most likely, or more than likely, is going to be more of our intraday day trade positions. And then CFDs, just updating anybody that is taking swing trades with us on these assets. So, what we're looking at here, as you can see, is going to be ES 15-minute, ES 5, and NQ 5-minute, which I kind of switched that right screen here and there. I use this for comparative strength analysis. Obviously, I have three windows, so I can see higher time frames to my left. These are more like the intraday, what you guys are seeing, and then the smaller time frames to my right to take execution. So today, just really quick, we have about 2 minutes. We don't have to make that many decisions. We've done really well on futures this week. And our swing trades, just to kind of, like I said, update them, what we're looking for today is we had that market open by. We were able to partial some of that position, which I'll go over this in the weekly review. We were able to partial some of that position inside supply after New York. Then we left a little bit of runners there. Price went through all this. We ended up coming down on Wednesday, right? Never coming back to those break evens. Took one loss there and ended up finding two really good trades here, which I end up still having this risk, right? So I moved my weekly open risk to here, took this trade, price went higher, higher, higher high, higher low, higher high again, trailed the risk up to here on majority of these positions here. All right, so now what I really want to see, right, 2 minutes, is if we can extend right line graph on those trades for it being the end of the week. The majority of the trade or the highest orders will get squeezed off to whatever the down candle is in the uptrending market, so that we can secure the bag. So that's pretty much what I'm seeing. We got about a minute. All right, so let's lock in. Let's see what we get. And if worst case, kind of like yesterday, because I didn't buy any of this stuff here because I already have those other longs, but if we end up having to wait for price to push on through to see if, buyers are going to take profit up there, then that might be what we end up doing. So 59 seconds, let's lock in. Okay. And so right out the gate, I like to see what SPY QQQ is doing. So I'm looking at that, and they're gapping up to go higher here. Okay. So that shows me we might continue that. All right. So if you like NQ, you could be longing that with that risk with that 5-minute low. That would probably be somewhat safe, but just be careful. But the 5-minute play doesn't look bad here to extend up, which I ended up taking a future position for my risk right here. So we'll see if that can play out. Now we're wanting to get above that HOD and protect, because if it can rally out the shorts that have been holding, then that's great. So just so you guys kind of see how my entry looks, um, that's basically the 5-minute play I took. All right, see if it plays out. Okay, so that looks good for our CFD trades as well. So beautiful little setup there, guys. And then ES did the same thing, higher high, higher low, higher high, pulled back into the demand candle. So we'll see if they can extend up, because I mean this could just be a false rally being the first minutes here, but Should they manipulate here? Just watching this area tight here, this 5 minute down candle. Like I said, we did have QQQ and SPY pop up right out the gate, so yeah. And the goal, like I said, is to get this up to that HOD. Anywhere above that 21 or 22 150 would be pretty good too. But it's, you just have to kind of wait this thing out and see if ES continues as well. This just doesn't look as good, right? But I have to see how the candle's going to close as well. With it wicking away like that, I mean, it's dangerous. Now, if we can get closures above, right, this area here, like the way it's kind of getting weak now, it's kind of more difficult. But if you can get a 5 minute close above those candles, then I think that we would continue higher here, up to those 2250s at least. And if you continue to see strength on the 5 minute on ES above the 138s, 140s, I think we could reach up into that supply here. So since I have the smaller time frame over here, I'm going to actually bring this up so y'all can see what I'm looking at on this 15, because we could be rejecting the supply candle right now, but we'll be able to know if we can get over this high right here. It's just looking more and more difficult for them to try to do that before going higher right now. So I'll go back to that 5 so we can see that. ES looks good. They might reach for the liquidity on NQ first, unfortunately, but we'll see. Now they never took that 5 minute low. If you're using 5 minute lows as your risk, right? So they haven't taken that yet on a futures trade. That should be fine. Stay patient. This first 5 minute close should be able to give us a little something. It's just very choppy. It's Friday, so good close there. Now let's see if they don't take those two wicks you guys can see under that 22-1 first, then they'll rally off this area. But they look like they more than likely kind of want to reach those areas first. We'll see. ES starting to fail that area, right? So that kind of makes sense. So they may want to push it back below, which is fine for me. But like I said, I have to see that area be broken, like that 22-1 area. Pretty bearish there on ES. So let's see. So if we can test away from that 22-1, right? And start to close back above that New York, that'd be interesting. It's on ES. They can hold this area. That'd be interesting. But they may want to go back below daily first before doing that. All this price is pretty efficient right here. So Okay, so they made those lows on NQ. So they're pretty efficient with ES, the ES price. So they might be looking for that manipulation over here. Let's see. ES holding still pretty good in that area. So let's see what they do here. Now, if they break this 5 minute area, like they close lower, like they're doing kind of here, then they may go lower. But like they can test it. That is, they have to close the candle there for me. I have to like legit see the candle closing. But like I told you guys, this could be profit taking for those. This could be profit taking for those longs that we've had all week. So just depends. But we're still in that area I like. So 1 hour is still inside the demand on NQ. So it's like, excuse me, with ES making those moves like that, it looks like it could rally. You know. All right, so maybe they just tested that. They wanted to draw on that liquidity because ES is already moving higher, right, into supply. So maybe this is just that was just a test on liquidity, like basically a re-entry area. Uh, because like I said, ES is showing quite a bit of strength there. Nice. So very nice. So if you guys got stopped out in that position, and then what I did was I re-entered on that because I seen ES strong. So you could put your risk at like the 1 minute low here, right? 1 minute low, depending on where you got in. And then my entry was below New York Open. Right. So that was my whole goal is just get that order right back below New York Open and use this as my risk. Because if ES is gonna rally, then we should and it's already rallying, then we should follow suit. Doesn't have to happen that way, but it's just when the 5 minute looks like this and it's holding the structure, we have a good chance. Now, can they manipulate? Of course they can. All right. So, but if we can continue to see 5 minute wickage, right? 15 minute wickage. So I'm actually gonna look at 15 with you guys. If we can see that 15 wick away, then that would be from that 22-1 area, then that would be good to follow this. But if you don't see wickage, then you'll see the move down to demand possibly. We'll see. ES looks really good, still strong. So even if we can extend from New York up to the highs, 21.7 or 21.163s, 170s would be really nice. It's very choppy though, I'd say on a 5 minute, 1 minute NQ. So it's just more of directional bias with the ES right there, moving in favor. So they are moving higher into that supply, right, on the ES, which we anticipated. So they're joysticking people on NQ on small time frames, right? So you have to be uh, not looking at P&L, not looking, it's got to be structure. Not really seeing that what I want to see over there, but NQ's kind of breaking down there on that five, right? So see, they may want above that day or below that daily. ES was probably the cleanest one, obviously today on that 5 minute that we look for, but so just knowing where London Open is there on ES and where that supply is and those 144s is key because that's like if you bought the low of day, right, the 122s or even just recently, you're wanting to give that back or think about what you need to do inside that supply, I would think. So NQ starting to look a lot better on that 5 minute. Now, since you already have the price moving up on ES, if we get close above New York here, that would show me for sure we're going to attack that wick. So it's really how they play this price at New York Open here. ES looking strong though into supply, the 142s. So it's been manipulative here on NQ. Nice. Now that 5 minute can, like I said, can close higher than 110s or 115s, and that 1 minute shifts in price delivery into the 120s. There's a good chance that this thing might rally. All right, because you got 5 minute if it goes above there, and we have that 1 minute shift, right, on line graph like this, like above the 14s, and there's definitely a high chance that I think they run this. But they can't get above that New York Open, that's going to be the issue. Yeah, still looking kind of strong, so it's just they're not showing you any strength on this. All right, so more breaking down. That 5 minute close right there. Let's see what they do. Strong close there on ES, so signs of strength there. That's good for them. All right. That kind of candle right here in this area on the five, like on the 15 is kind of like okay. It's kind of letting you know it's getting weak, but it's like if this one candle gets engulfed and rallied on, then we're gonna run. Okay. Because ES is already kind of showing those signs. And then we still have, I'll bring the dailies up if we do cross that high here. All right, so it does look pretty good. And then where my eyes are at, if we do reach on this futures position here, right, and on our swing positions, is I want to get into 50% of the daily candle, 22 250s, if the market presents something like that. Okay. Would like to see more of a push, right, and more of an attack on this wick if it's going to really work. Because if not, it's just mitigating out to fall. Okay. But when you look at a 1 minute, it looks pretty good off this candle right here. And if your risk was like right here, it's either, it's very tight. It's either it's going to get there first or it's not, you know. Just so like for the recording, this would be I lost that first trade, then I took this one. So this is the trade that I have on. So I have that same area I'm telling you guys with risk at that low, right? Trying to attack those 22 163s or 22 150s. So yeah, I did take a $330 loss, I believe is what it was to start though on that first trade, which is fine. If yeah, let's say if we go, right? We're still looking like if we get above 21 140, that's a green day no matter what on that intraday trade. So that'd be litty. But would like to see a 15-minute close strong here. More importantly, I'd love to see a 5-minute uh, closing above the line graph, right? The technicals, right? Because that would start to show me that we legit are going to erase all these people's stop losses. And so that's really what I want to see. That'd be really nice. That daily on ES looks really good, right? With that bearish dollar, if we continue to get bear dollar too, then you're just looking for that daily target of like the 6,160s. Okay, guys, that's a really good one. So just really quick, just want to show this really fast. If you had this entry and you placed it under New York, you could move your wrist to here if you wanted to as soon as we break the structure. It's up to you. I'm going to leave mine like this to see if we can break the supply in the 22 163s, but that's what I'm kind of looking at there. And then we haven't had a touch CFD today. I mean, they basically are giving us what we need. So watching this as we get close to the top, right, because people make the worst decisions as we get close to tops and bottoms. I'm also going to switch over here really quick and listen to TopStep because I want to see what they're doing in this situation. Hopefully they're doing the opposite. But that 1 minute looks deathly. So that 5 minute could be absorbing area. So I gotta lock in right here. All right, because we're not doing what we want to see. I'd say on a 5 minute above New York. Like we want this 5 minute candle to close. Like my eyes, what I'm looking for, guys, is for this 5 minute to be either closing or printing above this level right now. Right? I don't have to watch small time frames if I can see this. Okay. So as long as it's printing above the body closures, I know we're gonna come for the wick. There's just almost no way around it. Okay. Turning top step on, just seeing what they're doing.
For it. It's expensive.
I don't see them. They're on NQ100 tick chart. So let's see. But we're looking at that supply, guys, on ES. Good 5 minute close, right? Above the area. So what is that technical wise, right? A higher high, dude. RIP Wicks at that point, you know? Now, what's really important for this trade is that you have a 5 minute top end of the imbalance. So if you had two contracts on, you could trail one here, right? And if you have one contract on, you've lost a trade, you could trail one here and you'd still be good for the day. Okay. And so the other thing my eyes are really glued to here on Friday, right, is the hour price, right? The reason why I was taking buys on that NQ is because I was inside 1 hour demand, right? And it was like a set low candle from overnight. We haven't broke that candle since. So now that we're back into the supply here on that 1 hour, it's like you really just want to see if they're gonna bust through that, right? So like for your example, they're just gonna bust through this area, or if they're gonna reject the supply candle and then fall over. Okay. But all the short side liquidity has to be in that HOD, I would think, right? For the day at least. But like I said, if you're nervous or you have that trade on that 1 minute, you could trail your wrist to the 5 minute low end of the imbalance right now. Okay.
77% along here.
Okay. Getting that push we want to see. Let's go, baby. All right. So now this is just where my eyes are focused, so you guys know is inside this supply, right? I don't want to be buying inside supply, right? I want to be managing risk or, something else, but I don't want to be trying to take a buy at this point. Okay. Sweet. Okay, so now we're pushing up a little bit more. Um, and this is why I said that 5 minute has given you an expansion close. And so now it's giving, right? So worst case, if you trailed your wrist, sorry guys, I got a couple of counts on this one. Jeez. If you trailed your if you trailed your wrist to here and price ends up coming back like this, like say it just comes down back into the demand, at least you've gotten out for at least 20, 30 handles, and then you're able to re-enter the trade off demand, if that makes sense. But right now we're just managing what we got. I think we're in a pretty good position here to potentially take this thing to the upside. Now we really want to watch how they play inside this supply on ES. You know, the other thing I need to take a look at just really quickly is SPY and QQQ. Just want to show you guys that too. They're rallying, right? So there's really nothing stopping the markets from us, essentially going up right now, right? So you look at this 1 hour, 4 hour, right? We're inside the supply on the 4 hour. You look left here on SPY, right? We're already making new highs. It's about to be, right? So why would ES kind of slow down, to me, when I look at that? Not saying it can't because you're in a high area, right? You're already you're already closed. I think they've already went higher than the tops on that.
Oh, it's been fine. It's been good.
Okay, so watching this area tight. Looking for more strength on ES because think about it, the right side of the V has been set, right? People are already in it. And so either it's going to push up to the areas we want or it's just not. So I'm going to sit back and just kind of relax, see what we get. Okay, guys? Mm-hmm.
It's the Pop Squad. Oh, yeah, Pop Squad. And rejection there in the 40s. Rejection in the 40s in the NASDAQ.
I'm starting to see that weakness away from supply, right? So this could be the area, guys, where they try to manipulate. So we're inside those 1 hour supplies on both and 4 hour supplies. So you could anticipate people to profit take. Okay. So if you took an ES trade off the bounce here and you got a 5 minute area and they've given you from 133 to 37, sometimes you might have to accept that, it just is what it is. But on the NQ trade, I would say if you've got the 1 minute entry, like I have pretty much that 1 minute entry in here, you could trail your wrist to right here to be in profit if you wanted to. If you're like nervous at all, like if you have below that New York, you could do that if you wanted. Just because the entries are kind of high, but right now I'm just managing, just kind of watching the price here at 15 and 5, seeing if we can actually reach more into the 50% of that candle that we're looking at right here. All right, so this would be, I guess we got pretty close there already. All right, but I always want to see if we can reach above this wick right here. All right, and get into the where people shorted late and it fell. So we'll see.
It's on that number, top of the hour. So, folks, we got top quiz coming back this afternoon. He wrote these questions. Oh, it's
Now we'll see what we get around 9:15 where we're at with this trade, the futures trade, and then I'll update you guys on the swing trade on what I'm going to do. Because if we break, matter of fact, it's not even a question. If we break the highs, 22,163s, the indice trades, I'm going to trail up. I'll show you guys where. Really, really nice 1 minute price here, guys. I'm sticking off of that for the purposes of I don't really need it, but that's beautiful play. All right, to continue up. All right, good 5 minute play. And so, like I said, if you're trailing your risk to top end of imbalance on futures, because it like to the tick, you're securing a good amount, but you're also like it's not gonna get you out unless it legit ticks you out. So it just keeps you pressing the buttons less. Now we are pushing up on that 5 minute here. We've got some way to go into those 150s. So this is the most dangerous area of the day because people are gonna make the worst decisions right here. So
That's a good one. Tell us stuff. Right.
okay, so that's where my mind is with the risk. So you guys see, I'm just kind of not trying to look at P&L or anything like that.
Right.
Would love to see this 5 minute candle extend up 130s up to 150s. That would be, because what I'm looking for personally is a technical break. So I'm just looking for them to extend over these people that shorted. Their stop loss is probably break even, right? So that's what I'm basically looking for. Starting to break down though finally in this area. Let me look at that higher time frame. We're in the perfect area to break down on the 1 hour. So um, unless I've seen something that really made me think it was breaking down. Right now it looks fine. Let's continue. All right, we are in supply, right? But it's just, bears take they said bulls take the stairs and bears jump out the window, right? And we just haven't jumped out that window yet to me. Right. And what I mean by that is like the longs that I have on NAS, I haven't seen that this is an area I want to take profit. I'd rather trail risk or wait for the structure breaks. I think other people would be doing similar.
Oh, I like this one, bro. Here's the chat. Rose are red, violets are blue, and TopStep TV is your cue. Please like and share and subscribe. Correct. Oh, yes. Yes, please, please. If we get to 150, I've already got confirmation. Danielle is going to be joining me for slow market. If we get so,
Okay. I'd like to see a blast through these 140s. Otherwise, they're kind of playing around on that 1 hour supply, right? And so they can manipulate very quickly in this area.
love. Subscribe today. Guess what? It's free. It's free. It is. Yeah, you don't have to pay to enjoy this. Yeah, Netflix. Roses are red, violets are blue. Here comes another account that I blew.
That's terrible.
That's the guy here in the chat.
Okay, guys, so we're coming up on that hour close. I'd love to see me personally a technical, right? 30 seconds. I'd love to see it close on NQ above this candle. Like I want to watch and see if the 1 hour is going to close above. That would show me a sign of strength on the higher time frames. So we'll watch that together here. So we're looking for it to close right above this white candle. And if it doesn't, then it's starting to reject supply and starting to wick away. That makes me a little bit more hesitant for the trade. I like how the 4 hours look on ES and NQ though, how they're attacking the highs, but it's Friday, so still strength on ES, right? Not seeing any signs of weakness, right? Since that New York Open. Mark that real quick, and then we did get that close that we wanted to see on NQ. Okay.
Still stayed long. Still long, correct, Mo?
All right, and that's New York Open right there. So just ever since New York Open at ES, we have seen nothing but strength, right, to attack this area. So let's go back to that 15, and then we're essentially looking at low resistance highs right here inside the supply. So 5 minute price, what I'm looking for, is every time it sets a down candle like this, is that we continue higher off that area. Otherwise, it'll break down right there.
Steve Mohammed. Wake up. Just stay higher.
Okay, so just waiting here. That 5 minute goes lower again, then it's basically making a retry, which if you trailed your risk up, like I said, the top end of the imbalance, like right there, and you had to retry here, then it is what it is. But you should secure a profit by trailing your risk, depending on if your entry is good.
Wow. Go.
Okay, so that's spiking down into that New York. So that I kind of like to see these type of things, but it's just the area. So if we get an immediate response off of that, right, then that would be a good sign. But so I'm looking at the 15, right, and if they hold this area and wick off that demand and trick people to short it here, then that's cool. But not saying it can't sell off. I'm not saying that at all.
6140 just above. Saw about 4 points sell off there.
Mhm.
Yeah, see that.
So you'd want to see if they're going to test, like if you're going to get that wickage right here. Otherwise, they're going to go below daily open. And I would say, me personally, I would trail my risk on my CFDs, and I'd probably be good just for the week because I only have one loss on the table in this. Okay, so let's see if they do what I think they're going to do here. Okay.
Coach Jack is out. Plus 237. No, just like that.
Okay. So since we have this is like your new area higher, I'm just kind of looking at that New York, and then I'm looking at like this candle right here to see if they are gonna, that top end imbalance player, they got them, you know what I mean, and now they run. So let's see if that's what happens here. And the 1 minute, right? News buy tops and sell bottoms. Somebody sold below New York Open right here into that demand. I used to do it all the time, so. Let's see if this 15 can show some strength off this area. And then what you're looking for on that 1 hour is what are you looking for, right? 1 hour wick away from demand, right? To then go take the highest potential.
Not most of the range today. Exactly. It's not. Letting this marinate probably the first hour. Then we get whatever our club name is.
Okay. So I like that response off ES as well. And so I think they just manipulated a lot of people is all it is. Potentially, I mean, I don't know. We'll know, I would say, off this 5 minute close in 24 seconds. If it closes back in that, like the 5 minute supply, then there's a good chance that, that next candle open could be, pretty strong because you're getting a massive 5 minute wick. So 5 minute wick, 1 minute mitigations, 100 tick mitigations, right? For those 100 tick players. Um, and then it's a beautiful capitulation below an opening price. I mean, you can't make it much clearer than that. Now we just need them to, we don't need them to do anything, but we would love to see them go ahead and extend through this liquidity if they're going to rise.
Yeah, I have this rise will probably make them, but at the same time, everything's making me
The 1 hour looks really nice. Looking over at QQQ and SPY, SPY looks like it's about to go take those 610 highs, so that looks pretty good for us on that. But this is difficult, man. Oh my gosh, come on.
What's happening on here as well?
Let's see here. So really watching that 1 hour too. So just looking for a break of these highs for my futures position, honestly. Nothing too crazy, just even the 22 140s, honestly, right now would be great.
Yes. Hey, Coach, check out my Discord today. He's gonna be on great.
And YM looks really good to take the 44 880s. All right, those highs on futures price look like they're getting ready to get bodied. I mean, the engineered liquidity looks so terrible. I want to show that real quick. I'm pretty sure Tay's on here too. But the engineered liquidity here from where we were talking about buying up demand plays That's just, I bet you Instagram influencers sold this. Okay, so really, really nice. Still holding that entry like I told you guys. Same spot, same risk, right? So, we'll see. It is what it is, See if they give us the 5 minute or not. 1 hour looks really, really good to pop up on people, I think, like aggressively, but we'll see. ES, nothing but 5 minute strength from demand plays. So, I mean, it's pretty, order flow is pretty on point right now.
Yeah, works quickly. It's like looking around like.
Okay, nice. We just took those highs there. So I want to see these highs that you guys can see here potentially, but that could be it, guys. That could be the profit taking areas. We'll see. I would love to see a little bit more of a push. Now, if you have those entries below New York Open, you probably could be protected, right? Because we're so high. Um, and if price was to come back below, I would say New York Open at this point, it's going to go lower. Okay. So see if we're going to get that push on through. Really nice day. Let's go. And our continuation for our swing trades are looking beautiful right now.
I have it in my chart. It's very long trend line. And basically, it's where.
Really, really nice. How y'all feeling? Drop a one in the chat if you guys are in anything.
It's actually do these 140s, trade 142.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right, we're in supply. Remember I said the 50%, you want to be getting your bag, right? Or trailing your risk at this point because you don't know what can happen right here other than it could be a deathly move down, okay? At this exact moment. Now you're seeing strength on ES still. You're still looking good. It's just the fact of where you're at, if that makes sense, okay? Now I want to see continuation on that 5 to push on through. HOD is 22,163. So we're about 20 handles away from the high of day. All right. So if you continue to see, I would say this type of price action as you're going into it for ES, right? Right here from this 5 minute, that's a good sign, I'd say, as you're pushing up, right? You want to continue to see that 5 minute there, and you're thinking the same thing when you're looking left on ES's last up candle is where is that 50% area, right? And you want to be protecting or paying yourself as it's reaching into that, okay?
Oh, look at the NASDAQ. That's these 140s, 22,140. See, yes, the 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Trying to pass it the fourth time. 4 times test the level resistance support call, which you want.
Yeah, we look good across the board here. Let me check SPY and QQQ again. SPY just made those new highs, and we're following along now with QQQ. So I would think that ES should, follow along with SPY. Okay. I just want to show this for the recording, what we're looking for our futures trade of the day. We're looking for 22,163. And we're going to be able to, secure another massive profit here on this XFA. So let's get it. Another light day, baby. Okay. Okay. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Okay. And as soon as we break this, I want to show this really quick if we do. Now, as we get to the highs, this is where people are going to make crazy decisions. Okay. So this is where you always want to trail risk or something. But let's see here. Sorry. Just watching a couple things, seeing if we're going to pop on through here. But on those swing trades, I do want to show this. If we do pop those highs, the risk that's trailed all the way to here, you can trail it to this LOD because it's Friday, right? And you want to secure the bag. Have your runners, right? But your ones that are more the higher the position, like say if you had some from here, I would trail them because of their location, okay?
I find myself buying this. So why this hustle Nasdaq? Why I'm doing that?
Now we're in that supply. This is what I told you guys. This is the exact area where they try to manipulate shit like this, okay? So if you want to on those futures positions, you could trail up to secure the bag. It's up to you. Worst case, you can move your risk if you have it, like if you're below New York to New York, because if it comes back to New York Open at any point, it's over with anyway. So ES kind of showing weakness in that area is I think is people getting dragged in because of SPY already making those new highs. But I could, we'll see. As soon as we break out of this 163, though, I'm going to really secure down that futures position most likely if we can. If we can take these highs here. So I'm gonna go to 15 where you guys can see. Um, and I'm wanting to see if we can close above that box, right? So I have my supply box here. If we can close above the 50 level and if we can close above the supply, that would be great. But if not, we'll break down. I like how the price looks right now. I like how ES looks on that 15 right now. Okay. It's just where those candles are closing is everything.
I will be in the same state. However, I will be exiting here because that was the original target. They will take me out at point.
So we're gonna watch 5 together here real quick because I'm trying to see this 5-minute close more than anything. Right? I'm trying to see if it's gonna start to turn into that wick that we see. Okay. So some of my trailer, let's see here.
Then I have seller stock control. So my process is saying seller stock control, exit your trade, wait for another.
All right, so my eyes are just locked in on this 5-minute low, pretty much.
Jack on if I feel nervous, as soon as I get into a trade, it immediately goes to my favor fast, right? Like that feeling. Good price does not last long in a market, right? Just like any auction, just like any market, you see something on sale, it doesn't last very long. And I think it goes the same for these markets. We came into this day saying buy the dip, and that
looks good. Okay.
Bought it, and it did not last long. I could see it both ways, where you feel a little bit nervous, like, oh, that's too good to be true, goes out of it. That's the beautiful thing about getting into multiple contracts, right? Where you struggle creating one.
Looks good. Just got to remember what's going on in supply, right? So trail your risk up to that top end of the 5-minute imbalance on NQ 22,140 area here. And if it comes and takes you out, it takes you out. And if it gets to the HOD first, 22,163, then great, right? That way you make less decisions, right? And if you got in below New York Open, around the area you should, you're securing about 60, 70 points with trailing at risk. So if they come for that area, like I said, my trailing risk will be hit and I'll be good. I will let my what do you call it? My CFD trades work out. And as soon as this moment happens, right? If it shows that we can't go higher, right? And that, maybe longs are starting to take profit, if that's what happens, then I'm definitely going to trail up those higher positions on CFD to the low of day so I can secure the bag from yesterday, okay? So bam, that 5-minute area, that was where my risk was, 22,141s, which knocked me out for about a $700 profit outside of my loss as well on the day, on the XFA. So that's cool. I'm good there. And then what I'm going to do on the CFD, guys, is I'm going to anything you have that's not the market open trade, if you have that or whatever asset you have, look at the LOD current. So like these trades from here, and I don't know why the one from yesterday isn't marked, but I have a buy in here in the 21,750 area or somewhere in here. It's like 21.8. It's just break even, right? But now since if we fail to go higher, then I'm definitely going to trail it to here, right? So if you wanted to, you could go ahead and do it because the only two things that are going to happen is we're going to go higher, right? 1 hour, 4 hour daily. or like I said, price will start to buyers will take profit and we'll still get that mark. Okay. So let me go back and look at a couple things, and we'll kind of watch this area here.
You can also look at it from this perspective too.
But for the recording side, actually, guys, we'll go ahead and chop it up because I'm done on futures. If they continue to rally here, which it looks like they probably will, which is fine. I'm already out for a profit for today, and so that's cool. So let me do that really quick. Give me 1 second, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. This week has been an amazing week. We've had, almost flawless on TopStep. No, every day was a green day, which isn't going to happen very regularly. But we followed our plan. We've been very disciplined this week. Definitely bounced back from last Friday where I made mistakes after having 4 days of wins. So just keep improving, just keep getting better. And I'm going to do a weekly recap just like last week, which will drop either Saturday morning or a little bit later tonight. So for you guys watching the recording, appreciate you guys, and look for more content on the way.